the Cox house, it's 4 p.m. Eastern, which means the children have come home and the dogs lose their marbles. So thank goodness for headphones and voice isolation. Yeah. Chris, I am surprisingly a deep person. I keep it you know, try to keep it as light as I can on here, but can have a real deep conversation if I need to. Um, but okay, so first of all, want to say number one, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for patience. Thank you for patience and understanding. One of the things that we love about our two communities, office hour, MS Office Hours, and then Club Copilot, is that as you all have gotten to know us, you do also know that um, while we may be skating in and doing a few things last minute, we also do care very deeply about our customers and doing things for our customers. And so, because I think you've gotten to know us and know that this is all coming from a place of just wanting things to be better for everyone, that you are all very kind and respectful and understand that when we, have to cancel some things or we are a little bit delayed, that you're all very wonderful and respectful. Um, we do have, because of our delay, we have fewer Club Copilot hosts here. um, and it is what it is. So you get Dwayne and Heather. And we've made a few changes. So I'll go through those kind of first before we go through our deck and what we've got ready to go. A couple of quick things to just clear up stuff, and we will get this out more broadly. We did obviously get it posted in the team. It did not make it, unfortunately, to email, which I'm sure missed a bunch of our friends. And for that, if you're listening to this, very, very sorry that took place. Dwayne was a rock star for us and put together the seismic page that y'all are able to access. And the one thing, and I know I noted it if you did see my message in the team, which most likely you did, and that's how you got these calendar links, is that because, yes, please feel free to share that out. Dwayne just dropped it in the chat. And we will put it on LinkedIn. We'll share it with account teams. We'll do all those things. You're welcome to share it with your account teams as well and say like, hey, you guys should be joining. But and I know I think it was John who I responded to in the team earlier. The reason we do have 2 calendar invites is because of the fact that we do it the second Thursday and the fourth Thursday. And because of the way that Outlook requires the recurrence, it doesn't let us do it like that. So we don't want it every other week. We want it the second and fourth Thursday. And unfortunately, just the mechanics and the way that things are designed does not allow us to do that. One of the ways that we are hoping to make sure that we on our end are able to keep up with the speed and development and also reduce some of our workload is to rely 100% on our tools. And last year, for those of you, last 2 years, the last 2 years, we month to month would duplicate the deck and then change everything out. And, Dwayne, he's like, I know you love the club thing. However, like, I know you love your images. And I do very much. What we felt as much, I'm sure I'll make them and pop them in from time to time. And as much as I also loved like having just like a very set theme every month, that almost added a new layer of stress and time commitment. And so by removing that element, not removing fun, but removing that element. It's going to help us be more efficient. And both Dwayne and I employed our Copilot tools today. So we're going to, kind of show that off through the deck and through something else that was created. So it'll hopefully will be more, again, the whole point of our product, be more efficient, be more productive, stop spinning your wheels on things. I mean, Heather can spend multiple days on one PowerPoint perfecting it and I've had to learn to let that piece go a little bit for the betterment of the whole group. So instead, I decided I would maybe pick either a clubhouse or something. And I don't know why, in any way, shape, or form, this actually would have been a great time for my members only neon green lime jacket. But I don't know why Pee Wee's Playhouse popped into my head. Maybe I needed some lightness. I get it. It's not a clubhouse. And don't get upset with me, Pee Wee friends, because I just had this generated. I didn't go steal one. So does it look like Pee Wee's? So no, it is not exactly Pee Wee's Playhouse. I asked for the Pee Wee's Playhouse vibe. Okay. So yes, so this is what we have. That's where I'll get a little bit of fun. And I'm more than happy to share that with folks as well.
It's a compromise,
But
right? Heather gets her
yes.
outlet of creating really fun pictures, and we streamline a little bit.
And
So,
you know what? And that's the mark of colleagues that respect each other is that, you know what, each person's gonna give a little bit, but I will drop in the event that you also feel like being in Pee-wee's Playhouse. You are welcome to join me here. um Okay, so Dwayne it's just the two of us again, if you didn't hear that previously. Dwayne's going to kick us off. He'll share the slide deck today. Well, I'll kick us off, but he's going to share the slide deck. We will kind of walk through things. And we thought that just the way that, like, let's go for the idea of education. Education, if you're K-12, it's every new school year. If you if it is higher ed, it may be every new semester or every time somebody starts a course, but you sort of do a back to basics, a level set, like a back to the intro. Here are the expectations. So we are doing that. We're doing a little bit of a back to basics. So Dwayne, why don't you kick us off with the deck and we'll kind of start to go through it here. All righty. So Dwayne's got that deck going. And so, yeah, we'll probably keep our template pretty similar and a little bit more streamlined than we have before. But for those of you that are new, we're going to walk through our agenda, our session for today. So this is, and we're going to kind of get into the two different meetings, but this is the first session here is what we call listen and learn. And it is pretty traditional in terms of, hey, we're talking to you and you're going to listen. You are, let me be very clear. If, like, as we're going and there is clarification, please let us know. We don't need to just talk at you the whole time. Ask a clarifying question on something that we may share. So today what we'll do is reminders and recap, what's new. We got a quick feature of the month, and then we've got some what's next. So we'll keep going through that. And for those of you that are brand new to Club Copilot, and I hope that we do have some brand new folks. Again, I imagine we'll see a bigger turnout next meeting when everybody actually knows we're meeting. But Club Copilot was completely born out of the idea that we did not have enough resources to support how rapidly Copilot was changing and being able to, not just have folks constantly be looking at documentation, but give you a space to both learn from what's new and what's changing, and then what is sorry, and there went my brain right in the middle of the sentence. But to give you just the support so that you have it when you need it, without any kind of extra dollars being spent on it. So if you have a license to Copilot, amazing, love it, great, use it, fantastic. If you are not somebody that has one yet, you can still be here. You can still do a lot of these things, but we hope that we also give you enough reasons and information that convince you that this really is a phenomenal platform all the way around, and that you might take it back to some folks and try to say that, to share that with others. And so this is, as I said, it's going to be your end user training. And that means from student to CIO, everybody's going to learn something from this. And so we're going to do that. Again, questions are welcome in the chat, and you can raise hands for clarification as we're going, but we're not going to get into several topics. Technical support or a break fix channel. We have another community for that. There's actually a link on the Club Copilot page that we have put out that, again, Dwayne put together for us so kindly. And that is MS National Office Hours. So many of you are members there as well. And if you did not see that link, we'll make sure you circle back to see exactly where you could register for that. But we don't get into the licensing in the pricing. Licensing in the pricing. I mean, yeah, it still sounded fine, but then I realized how bad it was. Uh, we don't really get into that. It gets fickle. And he's fickle on that page. So we're not going to get into that element of it. Y'all, we're going to demo, and every one of you, not one person out here, and I would be shocked if you have never, ever, ever had technology fail on you when you went to go do something. Every single one of us has had that happen multiple times. It does not matter. I had a class presentation not too long ago. I double checked audio. I double checked video. I double checked everything. I was so ready, and I'm sitting there. And as soon as it was my turn to speak, nothing worked. Sound went. I couldn't click on anything. So you know what? We've all been there. So you may see that happen. And you know what? It's not just this tool. It's lots of tools, because that actually happened on a different tool. And yeah, not one-way broadcast. Participation is the point. We do talk more during this one than the second one, but again, totally, totally cool. Y'all can be a part of it. So last month or 2 months ago, 3 months ago, June. So, last meeting. You can go back and you can watch recordings. We also have that lovely, we've rerouted the Club Copilot page to not just the registration. It's also got everything you're going to need about the community, the files. I do know, and I made this note, the files, the ICS files are there. So you could forward that link and people can download it. However, they will, not that we do excessive amounts of updates, but in the event that they want to be any part of the team itself, or they want to receive any communication, which again, we don't inundate you. We try to be very, 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 very careful to not annoy you. And somebody over there is probably saying, well, you annoy me on these calls, but we try really, really hard to not send you too much to get you upset, to keep it at an even thing. But these are lovely links for you to bookmark. And Dwayne, what's so special about PowerPoint Live and these bookmarks and everything they're seeing right here on the page?
Click all the links. Somebody try it. Hopefully they work if I did my job well enough. But I think a really good one for everybody to click that I found out had just changed today is the one at the top right-hand corner that says what's new in Copilot. There's a new site called What's New Central. I don't know where it came from or who owns it. Apparently it's ours. That has lots of cool stuff on it, and I have not yet explored it to poke around, but give it a try and let me know what you think.
So we'll probably share those links every month just in case we get new folks that join us. That national office hours I mentioned, that registration is down there in the corner. And if you know Dwayne, you know he loves himself some PPT live. And so in case you aren't familiar with it, we wanted to make sure that you knew, hey, you can click on those links, and that is the beauty of PowerPoint Live. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the what's new. I'll get us set up, but then Dwayne, he's going to be the one that's going to give you the full details on the what's new. So these are things that have actually changed, how faculty and staff have been working this past month. And so we'll take a quick look at July through August. So there were 36 announcements reviewed. We're going to go over, I know my numbers. Hey, I did 4. We're going over 5. We're going over 5 live today over that 5-week coverage window. And what we see, the months, this month, Copilot stopped just writing for you and started keeping your work organized. Recaps, edits, and feedback now track themselves. Look at that. That's the overview for this section. So Dwayne, take it away.
All right. We've cherry picked 5 updates for you. This one's for Velvet. Meeting recaps app. So a long time ago, we started moving stuff around when it came to like recaps. There's an app called Meet that's currently evolving in Teams. Eventually, it will evolve into something called Events, and the that app will be built for scheduling webinars and town halls. And then it kind of left like, well, the Meet app used to just give me all my recaps, and that was really nice, and I could get back to like my audio recaps. So we came out with another app that does that, and it's called Meeting Recaps. So you should be able to see it. If it's not in your list, automatically hit the 3 little meatball menu at the bottom left corner of Teams and search for recap, or hit the plus sign and search for recap. This is one that's a part of M365 Copilot. So in fact, now that I think about it, I think all the features that what's news this month are in M365 Copilot. So I'm saying this out loud for the transcript. I should probably add like a badge or a decal or something that indicates what license you need on the slide. So I will figure out a way to do that. But I like this one a lot. It puts everything in one place and it makes my life easier. And I like things that make my life easier. You should be seeing it now. Hopefully somebody confirm. Tell me if you see it. Like go look for meeting recaps in Teams and tell me if you can find it. This one's really interesting. When Copilot came out, you could generate content in Word. That's cool. When it came out, and even for a little while later, we came out with the ability for you to dynamically edit stuff in Word. We called it Agent Mode for like a month. And then we renamed it to Edit with Copilot in Word, and it can update your document for you. And that was like another level. Like not just tell me what to put in my paper or regenerate content, but like fill in a template, for instance. And now we've gone to yet another level, which I like to think is document management versus just content creation. So those of you out there that maybe are drafting something really important and you need to track the changes on it, Copilot can turn on track changes and show you when it makes edits, show you the track changes on the fly. It can deal with stuff outside the normal boundaries of the page. So it can work with footers and dynamic fields like page numbers and things like that. It can also work in the comments section. So if you leave a lot of comments, it can generate comments and reply to comments, which is pretty cool. It can also create a dynamic table of contents. So if you let Copilot draft content for you, or if you're just a pro at Word and you use H1, H2, and H3 header styles, it can generate a table of contents for you based off of those header styles automatically, which is pretty sweet. And Chris Thompson just went in the Wayback Machine talking about exhaustive comments, which is a reference to a feedback form that was given to the MS Office Hours community by the product group. And they didn't know what they had signed themselves up for. And they received what they called exhaustive feedback. So that was thank you for that throwback there. I appreciate that. The next one is presentation reference and restyling. So you can have a deck that you like and you're like, this is pretty cool, but I want to make it look like that one over there. So restyle it for me. So I kind of just did that. We might give you some behind the scenes information here on this presentation, but this was very much, if you can't tell, a Copilot generated presentation, and lots of theming involved and referencing other decks and pulling things together. So this one is a nice feature. I'm sure you've got, previous presentations you might want to borrow some of the styling from. So being able to reference it as a style, pull it into your existing deck. I think that's pretty important. So you just attach a deck in PowerPoint, tell Copilot, hey, give me a new style based off of this. This one's new and not new. It was new if you did pinning of agents. It's new to you if you didn't pin agents. But we have 3 agents, and this one is available to Copilot Chat Basic. So they're not all premium features. There are 3 agents, first-party agents that came out called Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. These are agents that are powered by Anthropic's Claude model. And at first, they kind of required a little bit of work on the part of the end user, which I'm, not a fan of, because they don't know. They have day jobs, right? They're probably not listening to presentations and reading blogs about what's new in Copilot. So the work is, in order to even be able to use one of these, they'd have to go out and find it and discover it in the agent store and install it. Once they're installed, though, you can pull them into your conversation now by tagging. So just like you would mention an expert in your department and say, hey, I need your attention, I need you to come look at this question that was asked, like you're the person with the answers or the expertise. You can now treat an agent the same way directly in chat. So if you're having a chat, you've come up with a really cool idea and you're like, yeah, I need to make a proposal out of this idea for this new program that I want to launch, and I need to take it to my boss or the dean or whoever. You could just literally tag in the Word agent, say, yo, at Word, turn our conversation into a professional proposal, and it would pull the Word agent into that chat and then generate your Word document for you. Then you could take it a step further and say, okay, this document looks really good. Hey, PowerPoint agent, can you turn this into a PowerPoint presentation for me? Make it executive level, 5 to 6 slides, lots of big numbers, those kinds of things could be in your prompt. And that is a very nimble way to work by tagging agents in and out. Yes, Miss
And just
Heather.
going to add one really quick thing, because it was called out actually in the chat, the last comment that David left in the chat. And then we're going to have a quick PowerPoint slide as well. But when David mentioned, and I'll just read it for those of you that aren't seeing the chat, in the past, I've had trouble with Copilot updating slide decks that it generated for me, but if that's getting better, I'm happy. And one of the things I think everybody needs to keep in mind, and you've probably seen that with any tool, product, anything that when you use it initially, it gets better. It does. I will tell you that when I started with PowerPoint, I was using it and I was like, what is this trash? Like, what? I can't use this. What am I going to do with this? We are heads and tails beyond where that was. And so I do want to ask that if you are somebody who tried something in the earlier days and you're like, it didn't do this, or didn't want to do this, or I didn't like what it did, give it another shot. Go back. What are they? I don't want you to wait 7 years, but don't they say like your taste buds change every 7 years? So like every so often I go back, I try something that I say I hate, and I'm like, oh,
Mine
okay,
still don't
yeah,
like
not so
Brussels
bad.
sprouts, and it's been a lot longer than 7 years. So
Yeah, I'm the same way with anything that comes out of the ocean. But I do every so often try it again. And so my point being is that if it wasn't working previously, it go back, give it a shot, see if it's going to do something better, because I guarantee you will be surprised. Yes, and Javel, that added a point in the chat, and it actually kind of relates to the exhaustive feedback. I really appreciate Microsoft, or I changed the wording. So I appreciate Microsoft really listening and learning from their clients to help improve their products. Those of you that are new to either of the communities, one of the things that we reiterate regularly is that we, as employees, we can go and tell them things all the time. And maybe they'll listen, but the chances are slim to none. However, when we have individuals like yourselves that are using the product, or you're getting feedback from those that you support, as much as you can provide feedback, please do so. And there are two really, really strong ways to do that. A, when we come asking for it, please give it to us, because we take those large documents and pass them on. So everybody who loves Loop and EDU, you can give a round of applause to Dwayne, because that exhaustive feedback that he gathered from everyone allowed him to fight the fight. I really credit Dwayne with ensuring that Loop stayed in EDU because of the amount of work that he put into that, but he couldn't have done it without everybody. Another thing that I didn't believe and was pleasantly surprised to learn is that when you are in any of these apps and they do the thumbs up, thumbs down, and they're like, you think it's like a silly little, like, okay, whatever, do it. Do it. Like, thumbs up what you like and thumbs down what you don't like. When we first started Club Copilot, one of our initial speakers was from the Excel product team, the product group. And she said that they are required to sit and go through all of those comments. The group that works on that product legitimately has to review the feedback items that come through. And now I'm sure they're using AI to aggregate it and all that at this point in time. But if you want to let you out and see a Seth's thing in the chat, they'll even email you about your thumbs up, thumbs down. So that's not just a generic anything at all. Use those when you are doing anything with our products. Again, if you like it, let us know so they don't take it away. If you don't like it, let us know. Those are the two things. Just keep those in mind. Sorry for the tangent, but I thought it was an appropriate time to add that in there.
We might let you in on a secret if Heather approves it. Check your messages. Last, what's new is assigning tasks in PowerPoint comments. So kind of along the same vein as the previous one about Word and like management of a presentation or a document. This is making that happen as well. So if we need somebody to fix a slide, or Heather's like, no, that icon on slide 11 is gross, you need to update it with something else, she can create that comment and assign that task to me directly inside of PowerPoint. Our feature of the month. So that's it for what's new. So that's your 5. Those are the 5 that Copilot picked, and we'll explain that here in a moment. We'll transition over into our feature of the month, and this is kind of based off of some feedback that we got last, I don't know, what do we call it, Heather? Season? Or it's like season 3 of Club Copilot? Yeah. I know you like your
I like that.
shows.
I think season. Yeah,
Okay.
that works for me.
So in season 2, there were some folks that we realized had said some things in the chat, and we felt kind of bad. They were like, this is really awesome that you're showing this, but I have no idea what you're talking about because I've never used Copilot before. And we realized really quickly that we had kind of accidentally left some people behind, and we didn't mean to do that. So sorry for that. We get really excited and we like to talk about fancy new things, but we need to have a balance of making sure that everybody who's seeing these new things understands why they're cool. Otherwise, it's lost on them. So we decided this month that we were going to do a back to the basics of covering the Copilot app itself and some changes that have been happening to the interface of the Copilot app. So I'll switch my over to my demo computer, and I'm just going to live demo some of the stuff that's inside of the Copilot app and why it matters and why you should care. So I'll do that right now, and then I'll bring back the PowerPoint slides, and then we'll tell you a secret. Give me one moment to switch things around here real quick.
Remember, we're kind because live demos don't always like us.
Yeah, I do this for a living, and every day something happens. So, so this is the Copilot app. This is an app that is installed on this user's computer. So that means that they can find it via the start menu. They can go to the start menu and they can type in the word Copilot, and an app shows up on their computer. This is, I think, the best way to use Copilot, at least starting out. Like, of course, there's experiences inside of Word, Excel, Power. Basically, if there's an app, there's a Copilot in it. But for just everyday questions and recon, I'm trying to find out what happened in a meeting, those kinds of things. I like the desktop version of the Copilot app. However, you can still just go directly to office.com. So I'm going to throw that in the chat, office.com. The reason why I like office.com is because it's easy to say, it's easy to type, it's easy to remember. Everybody knows what Office is, but it will redirect you to the correct place. Also, it is not possible for one of your peers or end users or whatever language you want to use to get to office.com and use AI without signing in. It's not possible. So I will show you. I'm going to open up a private browser window. So that means there's no account tied to this window whatsoever. And when I go to office.com, I get, hey, cool, you want to do smarter stuff? Sign in. And I can't do anything without signing in. I did also notice, for those of you who have been fighting the fight around consumer AI versus work AI, is if you just go to copilot.com, which takes you to the consumer version of Copilot, it now also will not let you use it without signing in. And this is a very, very nice update. And there's some news around these things kind of merging. If you've heard of terms like super apps and stuff, so it's gonna kind of merge. But it says sign in with Microsoft, and if I do that and I type in my work account, so we'll just go with Nestor at eduane.com because I thought it sounded funny. It takes me to my work sign in, and it's going to auto direct me to the appropriate Copilot. What do I mean by appropriate Copilot? Well, I mean the one that protects your data. That's what I mean by the appropriate Copilot. And you will know that your data is being protected because there is a green shield up at the top right-hand corner. So if you've got friends that they're new to Copilot, like this is one that you kind of like drill this home. If you're using Copilot, wherever you are, you should see a green shield. And if you do, you hover your mouse over it, you'll see it says Enterprise Data Protection applies to this chat. And this is that guarantee from Microsoft that this is truly an enterprise service. Like I use email as an example of how to describe this to folks. People are like, what, email? Well, I bet all of you have a personal email. Every single one of you has a personal email. Do you send official work communications using your personal email, or do you use your work email to do that? And most people, without a doubt, they're like, yeah, I use my work email. Duh. That's a dumb question. I'm like, right. It's a ingrained behavior. Like you don't even have to think about it. It's so natural now that when you open up Outlook or you open up a web browser, you go to work email for work stuff, you go to personal email for personal stuff. And I just ask that we try to embed that same behavior in people when it comes to AI. Use the work AI for work stuff, and then use whatever you want to like fix your car or figure out how to make dinner with what's in your fridge. Like, I don't care. But for work stuff, we should do the same behavior. We should use the work AI. Now, the app looks a little different. Things move around, and We've moved things around a lot. So I'm going to go through some of the changes. You might notice at the top right-hand corner, I have this little toggle that says new design. Curious, let me know in the chat. Does anybody else see that same toggle? So if we go perfect, so if I hit that, it's like I just went back in time. They want feedback, like why are you trying to leave the new design? I'll give you a little tidbit of information. Eventually, the new design will be the only design. And you won't be able to get back. In fact, mine didn't even switch me back. That's interesting. So the new design will be the only design. And we used to have in the new design, we used to have up here, we had a work tab and a web tab, and you could flip back and forth between the two of them. We've since replaced that with a much simpler work IQ toggle. So if you have a Copilot license, you'll see a work IQ toggle. I'll switch over to a user that just has Copilot chat so you can see the new design there. There's no work IQ toggle. Similar interface. So I'll show you some of the similarities in a moment. For folks with a license, this just means, do I want Copilot to answer questions using the stuff I have access to at work? Or am I just looking for answers that come from the web? Like maybe it's a new law or, policy or news, or you're just looking up the weather. I don't know. But if whatever it is, like, I don't need work stuff for that. Like, I just want to get the answers from like the news sites or whatever it is you're looking for, then you can just turn that toggle off. And now Copilot won't use your email, your calendar, your OneDrive, and won't do any searching internally. And that's pretty important because sometimes that's what you want. Now, the old UI, the reason why I love this change is the old interface where it said work or web. There was a misconception by some people where they said, if I use the web one, then everything I'm doing with Copilot is being sent to the web. And that was not actually the case. It just meant, no, we're only getting the answers for you from the web. We're not sending anything to the web because Green Shield. So work IQ toggle, I like that one a lot. The model menu has moved. So the model menu used to be like up here, and there were some more buttons and stuff up here. Now the model menu is here, and we've also broken it out. So if you have a Copilot license, you should see GPT and Claude from Anthropic. And so you'll see GPTs that you can pick from. So these are from OpenAI, and we're labeling the manufacturer of the models there. Most people, Auto's fine. Like, I don't want people to get intimidated by this and think like, oh my gosh, which one do I use when? Like, if you're in that boat, don't worry about it. Just leave it on auto and let it do its thing. If you want to play, which I think people should poke around and play, try GPT 5.6. Like, it's good. Heather, are you auto or you like to pick
So
models?
I actually I stay auto, but
Okay.
I love this. And here's something that I want to double down on. As Dwayne said earlier, he said that we do our work things in our work environment. I am 100% the same way. I naturally love AI. I will not use my work account, even though I've got all the bells and whistles of it. I won't use my work account for personal items. And then some of you may know that I did take, as I'm finishing my current MBA program, I took the prompt engineering course and I learned a lot from that and had to spend time using different models. Again, I don't want to knock any other models. In fact, I am a Claude fan. I'm a big Claude fan. I love the Opus. I love Sonnet. Those are ones that I use for a lot of my personal work. The beauty, the beauty of this ecosystem here, my friends, is that you have options for these models within the safety of the enterprise data protection. If you take your work items into Claude because you're like, I love what Claude does, there is nothing protected. Nothing's protected in there. Oh, it's wanting me to lower my hand. I'm sorry. I'll lower my hand. Um, uh, there's nothing protected. There's for those of you that are highly worried about governance, compliance, like being able to have, to search, do e-discovery, DLP, like there's nothing that y'all can do if it's done in Claude independently. But here you are in this work environment with those models that people love from Claude. So I just wanted to like make sure that that was fully understood, that you can love. And I'll be honest too, that Dwayne showed that GPT is in there. Do they create really good images? Sometimes a little bit better? Yeah. Well, guess what? Do it safely. Do it right here in the confines of our work environment. Again, keep everything you're doing work-wise safe.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get locked in to say I'm only going to use this because it's all that's available to me. That's what I mean. There's, as I said on MS Office Hours last week, I will not. Those of you who know me, I'm going to just tell it like it is. I have not seen any of the other models that to me work wise can really, really give you the full umbrella of what is able to be done with this suite.
And
So
that's our platform approach, right? Like we make
correct.
models. If y'all are curious and you want to see a model made by Microsoft, it's right in PowerPoint. There's one right here. Our image model, which last time I saw was ranked 2 in the world for image
Oh,
models pretty
I'm gonna
quickly.
have to check that one out.
So you got options when it comes to creating things and getting answers to questions and those kinds of things. So it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy trying different models and pivoting between them and see what happens, which is a lot of fun. There was a couple more like relatively large changes here in the app that I wanted to cover real quick. The first one is if you have a Copilot license, you'll see notebooks listed again on the left navigation of the Copilot app. And when you click on one of your notebooks, you might be very surprised at what you see. You're like, whoa, what is this? This looks very different. This is a chat first experience with your notebook. Don't worry, if you like the old school notebooks and you're like, give me back what it used to look like, just go to OneNote. The same experience is available over in OneNote. Now, one really exciting thing, and I don't recall if we were able to cover this last season, is if you don't have a Copilot license and you're on Copilot Chat Basic, so if you don't know how to tell, keep hitting the wrong hotkey, darn it. I am out of practice. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner where your username is and the Copilot app, you'll see Copilot Chat Basic or M365 Copilot Premium. That's how you tell which one you've got. But for our Copilot Chat Basic friends, guess what? You get notebooks too. If the waffle launches today, there we go. So you get notebooks also. This is new since last season, so I think we might do a deeper dive in this because this is really powerful. That same notebook that you saw my licensed user open, my non-licensed user can open it, generate study guides and mind maps and ask questions, and look what it's grounded on. This is a theoretical class. If we have any friends of Star Trek out there, Heather is a new Trekkie, relatively new to the club, but she likes her some Star Trek. And Star Trek Voyager, I made an entire class based off of the holographic doctor from Star Trek Voyager. So I could ask anything I want, and it would only answer based on those references that I've created. Um, Couple more things. Word, Excel, and PowerPoint agents that I talked about earlier. Really important to make sure that people know that those are there. Hopefully,
Dwayne,
if you're an
can
admin,
I ask you a quick question
hmm,
about PowerPoint that was asked in the chat? And let's just
oh,
get it out of the way very quickly. Um, if they have they don't have Copilot, the M365 Copilot, they just have chat. Is that a reason they may not see Claude as an option for models, or would that
right,
be
yeah,
something that is correct? That's
right. So the
okay.
the seeing the Anthropic models here is something that requires a premium Copilot license. That being said, This is my basic user again. She has access to Word, Excel, and PowerPoint agents. And these agents use Claude. They're built on top of Claude. So if you want Claude for creating Office artifacts and you don't have a premium Copilot license, these are the way to do it. And
Oh,
I was
look at
about to
that fun
say, I think it's very
workaround.
important if you're here and you're an admin, is to go into the admin center and install these and pin them. If you don't, it's going to be really difficult for people to find them. You have to, you'd have to go to the agents and then more agents and then search the store and then install each one. Just go ahead and make them available for your people. These are first party agents, they're a core part of the experience. So make it easier. Make it easier for them. Last thing real quick, you might notice down here at the bottom, my version of Copilot says approved by, and then has this weird funky logo for my fake company. That is co-branding is making its way into the Copilot app. So you can put your brand on the app. This pulls it from the logo that you set in the admin center for custom theming. So if you're not an admin and you have no idea what I'm talking about, and you want to see this, go ask your admin and say, hey, I saw we can put our logo in the Copilot app to let people know they're in the right place. I think we should do that. And then along the same lines, last feature before I pivot back to screens, to slides rather, is the prompt gallery has been rebranded to Prompt Labs. I know, shocker, rebranded something. But this is really good because this is a much more functional experience, in my opinion. So, a couple things about this. Number one, I've got finding my prompts. I've got my prompts that I have saved. I have some filtering capabilities here. I can look at prompts that I have shared or have been shared with me. I can also hover over a prompt. Let me go back to my save prompt and I can share it, and I can share it directly to a team. I love this. So if I want everybody that works in Central IT Services Group to know that I made a prompt that will make their life easier called based on my email, what are the latest updates on Project Bacon? I can push that prompt into that team, and everybody who's a member of that team will see that prompt automatically in their prompt lab. So they'll be able to search for shared prompts and save prompts, and they can filter by the team that they're a member of right here, which is pretty sweet. I love that. However, if you want to do something a little bit broader, a little bit more higher, bigger scale, we now support organizational prompts. So if you find a process or a prompt that you think is impactful for all the people at the place that you work, well, it's now possible to go into the admin center, create that prompt or import it from a CSV file, an Excel file, and push it out to everybody's Copilot, whether they have work mode or just web mode, so licensed or not. So this is an example of that. So this is a prompt called weekly status report. And if I click it, it auto filled in this entire monstrous prompt, and I can go in and fill in the blanks and then save my own copy of it. But I just made it a lot easier for people to get access to a really powerful prompt that's customized to my, theoretical organization. So for this right here, I saw the question in the chat. This is in the admin center, you set a custom theme for Microsoft 365 and you can define a logo. And this will just pick up whatever logo is already set there. And you might have seen that, like if I go to, I don't know, SharePoint or something, that logo shows up here at the top left. So if you've defined a logo that shows up in all the Office apps like this, we just take that same logo and drop it in the bottom. And that's rolling out now. So my lab is in an early release ring. So I can experiment with those features before. It's not like anything like secret. It's public. It's just most people don't run their production environment in a targeted release ring like I would do my lab. So that's coming. And that's a quick overview of the Copilot app. This is where you should start, in my opinion. If you just have a question, ask your question here. Ask about a website, ask about an email, ask about a meeting, attach things to your prompt. You can do that with premium or you can do that with basic. And if you are on Copilot Chat Basic, you should also try Copilot in in Outlook. Because watch this. Watch this prompt I'm about to run. So give me a summary of the last CC meeting. So I made up a fake committee. Give me a summary of the last meeting. What do we think it's going to do? I don't know. Let's find out. This is a relatively new thing for Copilot Chat Basic users. It found the meeting and it said, oh, the meeting was transcribed. Let me go ahead and access that transcript for you automatically. I did not attach the meeting to my prompt. I just simply said, what happened? I wasn't there. No license required for what I just did. Now I know that our primary bacon supplier for the Federation got assimilated by the Borg, and we have a serious problem, and we have to find a new provider really quickly. And no license required for this one, which I think is stellar. We'll probably do a deeper dive of that one too. All right, let me go ahead, pivot back to PowerPoint, and we'll tell you.
While you're pulling it up, quick question with the Copilot Chat Basic. If I access Copilot from within Outlook, it can access my emails and calendar and help me with my inbox. However, if I go to chat outside of that, a bit confusing. Will that change at some point? Basically, in some sense, is that what just happened? What we just looked at?
Yeah, that's what I just showed. Yeah, that is
Yep.
an experience that's specific to Outlook. Can't tell you why, but it's specific to Outlook. And yeah, your automatic access to data is much bigger in Outlook, and it's like a way for non-premium users to be able to get serious work done, like summarize my mailbox. And like I just did a summary of a meeting, like that's gold right there, I think, for somebody to be able to catch up on something really quickly, which I love. I'm super, super excited about that. And yeah, we'll probably do a little bit of a deeper dive. We got a couple of go-dos and prompts in here for you to try out. We'll try to generate some new ones for you each month. And then you should hopefully have the meeting series on your calendar. If you went to the landing page, aka.ms/club copilot, make sure you download both. They are the same Teams meeting, but they're different placeholders on your calendars, like Heather was saying earlier. And also the dirty secret that we have to give you is there were some comments earlier about like, I sure hope PowerPoint's gotten better. This PowerPoint presentation didn't exist until about 30 minutes before this call started. Because when Heather said we kind of scraped by, she was not kidding. So I asked Copilot to generate an entirely brand new template based off some graphics that Heather had created. If you've seen like the little stars and calling it Copilot EDU. And then I gave it the what's new PowerPoint presentation. And I said, okay, now that we've got my template, create a skill for me in PowerPoint that I can call upon that will auto update all the dates and all the things that we're talking about. So I don't have to go click a bunch of things, and pick 5 updates that you think are really good and go ahead and throw them in the what's new section. So I think the deck looks okay.
To double down in on how, yeah, we're the dirty secret is that we have been very delayed this week, but remember, we love you. We love you. And so Dwayne and I were actually working at the same time on 2 separate presentations. Okay. And so I was like, hey, I want to play around and I had it create a deck that looked different. I like Dwayne's better, which is why we went with his deck. But I took the deck that they created, Copilot, Cowork, and I said, I really want this to be a bit more interactive. Like, I don't want to listen to PowerPoint. So with any luck, based on the settings, you should be able to click on interactive presentation. Now, this is not, again, this was created between like 3:40 and 3:50 Eastern time today. And so I didn't go back over it, didn't make any adjustments. It's only being hosted at the link right now. But it is a click through of the the version of the presentation Copilot had for me. So sorry, it's not identical, but I wanted to show you just how easy it is. And all I did was say, this is my, and actually I'll share my screen in case folks didn't click on it. All I did was say, I took the deck, it created the deck, and I said, I want you to make this interactive, and I want this section to be a little bit like a game. And so that's all it did. So it went through, it pulled those pieces out, it turned it into something that I can click through a little differently. We've got oh, see, I'd have to double check. These don't go out. So like, again, hey, what a teachable moment right here. The teachable moment is always check your work before you actually share it out, okay? Because, hey, Copilot, not autopilot, but those don't link out, but they could if you wanted them to. But then, okay, it was like, let's play. Oh, this isn't where the game is. So the game is, here's where Copilot can be found. Same idea, clicking through that. Feature of the month. Again, remember I fed this into it. And then, oh, here's some questions. A staff member wants to know what the latest state guidance says about AI use in public universities. Who wants to guess? Someone throw it in the chat or come off of mute and yell it out. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to, what do we got? What do we got? Somebody's got to put, oh, Velvet put chat. Anybody else? I'll just go chat. There we go. Correct. Okay. So like I said, I wanted it to be a game. We are going to turn it into a full game because we have talked about when to use what. So you guys this crew. Yeah, there you go. I ask Marge. That's the best thing. That should have been one of them on here. Okay. Marge, you're our gal. And so, yeah, just a different way to not only demo, but like this is like we're learning at the same time. So y'all can go through that. Those are the things that Dwayne had. Copy, good. Next. So again, as he noted, we're going to meet again in 2 weeks. Same meeting link. It is 2 different files. If you don't want to download 2 files, just make it recurring on your own and copy the link in there because it's the same link. We'll see you at the same place. At least that makes it a lot easier for us. Chat will be on between meetings, at least unless it gets crazy. But you can come in and you can chat and you can do all of that like we do with MS Office Hours if you're on that crew. But we would
that's
also
a big
love
change. Like I want to double
for
down on
us.
that real quick because for us and for y'all, the club Copilot EDU Teams meeting chat will not turn off throughout the entire month. And both meetings are happening in the same chat. So if you get annoyed by that, please mute the chat and don't leave us.
Don't leave. We were we really, really, really thought about it.
Yeah.
We don't want people annoyed at all. Remember, we were trying to prevent an annoyance, and I know we're over time, which is already annoying. We don't want to annoy you, but we want to make sure that you can get answers to questions. So if it does get to be too much, please mute it. Please don't leave so that we can continue to support you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that. Shirok's here. She's in the background. She's one of our team members. We love you, Shirok. So thank you for this. We will get this posted. It'll end up on the Seismic page if you've been to that. And we will obviously share this broadly. Please let your communities know. Please let your peers know. We will get them added to the team as quickly as possible. We want to support everybody. We want you to be successful. So again, hearts, thank you. We're looking forward to a great season 3. So
yeah. Thanks, everybody. See you in a couple weeks. Bye.